My name is Bolaji Kehinde Ayeni. Abike is my Oriki, the name I am fondly called by my mother. From the age of 8, I lived with my aunt, Mrs. Janet Olufumilayo Shodipo, at Iloro, Agege, Lagos State, Nigeria. My aunt, a very industrious woman, a fashion designer, taught me how to multitask and be versatile. So weekend, Saturdays precisely, I hawk fruit juices. This day after hawking,
Hey, Gabo. I need to go back. I can be too bad now. I can go back. She I did to work back. Oh yeah.
I came into her shop, greeted her, and she helped me down with the left goods that I went to sell. She checked the purse and praised me for good sales. She thereafter told me to get my food, eat, and pick up my book to do my homework. So, I gladly went to the table, picked up my food flags, and ate. After I had finished eating, I did my homework. You know what passion is. So after my homework, I started drawing. With so much excitement, I showed my aunt apprentice, Sister Grace. She commended my drawing and told me to sew it using the brown paper. The brown paper is the first practice material for an apprentice to sew before sewing an actual clothes, she explained. She taught me how to sew the brown paper, so I sealed it and showed her. She checked. She checked for the errors. She checked again and told me to make some adjustments, which I did. I went back to her. She found some errors again, corrected the errors, and told me to sew the brown paper again. I tried again, went back to her, and showed her. And finally, she applauded me for a job well done. Sister Grace showed me the basics of sewing, and that was my first contact with sewing. Here I was 10 years later in the city of Abeokuta, right in front of my mother's shop, in my parents' compound. My passion wouldn't let me be, so I continued sketching styles. My mother called me severally, but I didn't respond. Finally, she called out and came to meet me to get off the drawing and do some chores.
Ó dẹ̀ ń kà mí lóhùn, ó búkú o. Wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ tó yẹ kó ṣe jàre.
Ìyá Abike, My mother, Mrs. Comfort Ayeni, she sat me down and said to me, now that you've finished your secondary school education and you're awaiting JAMB results, I want you to learn a handwork along the Western education. Mommy. She reminded me that I came from the lineage of those who go to school and at the same time learn a handwork and establish it. She told me of my father, Alhaji Ayeni, who was into building construction and a professional bricklayer. He owns a reputable block industry, Ayeni Yeniyo Block Industry, at Abeokuta, Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria. My mother wants me to learn hairdressing. If possible, become a nurse, because my aunt said I have a good heart. She said hairdressing had quick turnover and the young ladies make hair often, unlike tailors who sews occasionally. In fact, she went ahead to let me know that it's been a while she sold a new clothes. She tried to convince me that tailors don't get new clothes to sew often. I didn't like that idea of making hair. I would rather be a fashion designer. I like to draw, and I get inspired by every little thing around. That's how I create designs and styles. My mom got agitated at my reaction. She tried to convince me, but I calmly told her, Mom, let me pray over it and ask God. You know I'm a dreamer. God will show me. She agreed and gave her blessings. Afterwards, it was festive period known as Odun Ileya. I had drawn a long maxi dress, which I took to a local seamstress, Mama Funmilayo, to sew for me. Checked and asked, you sketched this? I said, yes, I did. She said it was a very nice design. She measured me and I bargained the dress price for 200 naira. I asked her, when should I come back for my dress? And she said, 3 days later.
Hello ni kí mú wa mọ́ 300. Àwọn mú mi ẹgbà 200. Àwa náà kọ́ ìlú ni gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n. Ẹ ṣe máa wọ̀n mí. Mo máa mọ̀ ẹ́. Gbogbo nǹkan tó wọ́n ni ìṣẹ́jọ́ àwa náà nǹkan tí wọ́n jù ni. Ẹ bá mi rán kó fáyìn o. Aṣọ ọdún mi ni o. Kò sí wàhálà. Ṣé máa. Adé ẹran dáadáa. Òde máa bá mú kọ́sítọ́mà wá o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni máa mú. O ṣé o. Yes ma. Tó bá ti dọ̀túnla. Yes ma. Wá gbà. Ẹ ṣé ma o. Bá mi kílé o. Yes ma.
3 days after, I went back for the dress.
Ẹ káàsán ma.
Káàsán o.
Yes ma, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ma.
Àwa nìyẹn o.
Yes ma.
Ó wá gbaṣọ ẹ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ma.
Ìdí ẹ̀rọ dáadáa. Ìdí ẹ̀ ṣe.
Ẹ ṣé ma.
Ẹ ṣe. So ó máa ń wọ̀ kó wá wọ̀ wò o.
Ṣó size mi ṣá mú mi?
Size ẹ̀ nígbà tó yẹ pé mo ti wọ̀n ẹ́ kí n tó rán.
Ẹ jẹ́ n wọ̀ wò. They like
I tried it on and I really liked it. So excitement.
ẹ ṣé gan ma.
Má bá a mú kọ́sítọ́mà wá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Màá ní customer wa. Fine, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Like ẹ bá mi pàdé. Ẹ má wọ̀rí, máa bá yín mú customer wa.
A máa retí ẹ̀. Ṣé gan.
Ṣé ìgbà òde ti wà ní?
Ó ṣe gan ni.
Ẹ ṣé
Ó
máa.
ṣe kó bá mi kílé o. Ó ṣe gan ni o.
Days after, I slept. And that night, I drank. I saw a big silver scissors cutting a red cloth. And I woke up bewildered. Could this be because I've been thinking about sewing? I prayed. Went back to sleep. I dreamt again. This time, I saw the shop where I was to learn. The shop was locked, but the signboard had the inscription, Elegant Sewing Institute. I woke up, convinced that fashion indeed is for me.
Sewing Institute.
Joyfully, I went back to my mother. When I got there, I met her arranging goods in her shop, and I told her I have a gist for her. Excitedly, she prepped chairs for us to sit and talk. I narrated the dream to her. I told her I saw the scissors, and again I saw Elegant Sewing Institute.
Mo jí padà, mo ti ẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ rò pé bóyá nǹkan tí mo gbé sọ́kàn sùn mo gbàdúrà. Mo tún sùn padà màmí. Mo tún wá lálàá again. Pé mo rí tí scissors yẹn ti ń gé aṣọ yẹn. Mo tún wá rí ibi tí ó ti ń rán aṣọ kan ní Kútọ̀, Elegant Sewing Institute. Mo rò pé mo tún jí. Màmí ẹ wò ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́ṣẹ́ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́ṣẹ́ fashion designer yìí. Ó wù mí.
Bí Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ìwé orí bá dání sí làárẹ̀ jẹ́ ń ṣàdúrà fún un. Wàá ṣoríire o. Ìtò fẹ́ dáwọ́lé lórí
She prayed for me. She gave all the blessings a mother could give a
Wàá
daughter.
ṣàṣeyọrí.
And she told me that this work that I have chosen would take me to countries all over the world. And I said, Amen.
Yes, ma.